when you drill down into what is really happening, you will understand, sir, that Jamaica is going to be able to recover because of the leadership we have.
I know that.
And let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. This is the first phase of the recovery. This phase here is to provide relief, immediate relief, going to get tremendous help in the rebuilding process. Because if the government needs to get loans, it is in a position to do so.
Right.
But that is not needed now. What we want now in this first phase is to stabilize the thing, provide the necessary aid, food, water, and shelter.
That's right.
Clear the roads, restore power, and then we start the rebuilding process. And I'm going to tell you this, sir. All of you people who have lost your homes and all of that, you're going to get help. You're going to get help. Have to go, sir.
Yes, because I hear a lot of people say
6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Caroline, gonna need your help a little later. Good night, Chris Rock. Chris Rock, good night. Open your microphone, sir. Chris Rock, open your microphone. Andy Don, open your microphone. Kingbert Mitchell, good night. Kingbert, good night. Andy Duck, hello. Carlene Ellis. Good night, Angie.
Good night, neighbor.
Fantastic, great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm giving God thanks.
Nice.
Yes, I want to say a quick thing, neighbor. Based on the hurricane thing, what I do not understand is all the people coming out disrespecting the prime minister, or they claim that they are disrespecting the prime minister. I've not heard the opposition leader come out and say, no, this should not be so, or this is not how it is. He's just silent. Why is he silent?
Say that again. The opposition leader is to come out and do what?
I'm saying he's just silent about the people disrespecting the prime minister and saying stuff that are not true.
Did you watch the debate, ma'am? Did you watch the national debate?
I don't see it as a debate. If you ask me,
No,
if
they
I watch
ask if you see it as a debate. Ask if you watch it.
the so-called debate, yes, I watch part of it.
Uh-huh. And you saw where the opposition leader was calling the Prime Minister Andrew.
Yes, yes.
And then why you expect him to come out and say anything, man?
Right? Come on.
No. Wait, no, man. If the opposition leader himself don't have any respect for the Prime Minister, why you think he can come out? He wouldn't have any moral authority, ma'am, to say to his supporters be respectful. Mark Golding don't have no respect for the Prime Minister, man.
That is true. And what I'm saying to the Jamaican people, they
You know,
must
ma'am,
remember.
the Prime Minister wrote Mr. Golding a letter inviting him to meet with Mr. Chuck. You know, so the opposition leader has not responded. When he responded, put it in the media, and he hasn't even responded to Mr. Chuck.
It's too out of order.
Yeah, ma'am, the fact of the matter is that the surrogates now take their cue from leadership. And if the top of the stream is dirty, why you expect to come out of the box?
You know, to be honest with your neighbor, I believe these people are motivated to do the stuff that they're and the disrespect and all of that.
You ever hear about listen to the, hold on, man. Hold on.
To Jamaica. Jamaica, King Dariel, Michael, Hanjo, Holness, the doctor, Jesus Christ, God of mighty man.
Hold on, man. You ever hear about Rockstone Never right, man?
Well, me one of them, you know, to tell you the truth.
Well, Holness is a Rockstone, you know, man.
Can't move him, too much prayers going on for him.
Holness a rock, you talk about
Them can't test him because
your background is bad, though, man. Can't handle it.
okay.
Take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right. Well, I Shane Smith. Shane Smith. All right. 13 after 9 o'clock as you join us, Cindy. What a fantastic night. This is Tuesday. Solid as a rock, Cindy. Good night to you. Good night. Hi. What a Tuesday night across Jamaica. Steve Logan, how can you call? Tap the screen and share the live. You have to send a request to the box. Take stock 876-858-9553. That's the number to text. Are you in Canada? Well, we have some good news for you. When your eyes still smile. 14 glorious minutes after 8 o'clock. In Jamaica, it's cold. In Florida, when your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sleep. Pushing out some Terry linen. Oh, when your mouth still remember the taste of my love, when your eyes still smile from your cheeks. Your neighbor and Caroline, what a combination. Yeah. Be loving you till we're 70. Oh yeah. And baby, my Western Kingston. Oh, goodness gracious me. Saying good night to Charm. Charm, you're in the Mandeville Market. Mandeville Market, listening to your neighbor at this time. Hey, Charm, how you doing? Scallion is $1,000 a pound. I need a couple pounds for you know. Coming for it in the morning. What about the pumpkin? Hi. Taylor speed. Oh, don't speed up. Canada is snowing. Florida is cold.
In that, and I see where they have started getting the gas stations open. The large distributors are open. The large supermarkets and wholesales are open, especially in the urban areas. I like that. But I also want the small shop in Adelphi or in Springmount or wherever else, that those shops reopen. Now they can't reopen for one main reason. They don't have electricity. That's one. And the second is that supplies can't get to them. The distributive trade, which by the way is an incredible logistics operation, they supply thousands of shops every day with trucks going all over Jamaica. That has been hit. And they can't call to place orders. And some of them can't access cash. So I've asked the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce to develop a plan to support the small shops in communities right across Jamaica to get them up and running. One of the first things that we have done is we have identified some generators and we're going to make those generators available. So we're going to start with 50 in the most impacted and remote communities. We will loan them the generator. But of course, there will be some requirements for compliance issues and to ensure that there are established operations that we can enter into cooperation with. So, of course, we would have to verify that they are a legitimate operation. So we would ask the JPs, the police, and other established persons in the area to vouch for their credibility. And we're going to ask the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to lead that, along with the DBJ. As I toured through Jamaica,
that's the background to the generator being loaned, okay? I tell you, we crayfish have brain, head, but they don't have no brain. Crayfish, you heard that? My friends, Your Highness from Canada. How you doing, sir? Hey.
Good night, neighbor. Good night.
Your Highness, how you doing, sir?
Wonderful, sir. How are you?
Top of the night to you. Not doing bad at all.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm here. I'm listening in. God is good. It was snowing this morning in the Brampton area of Ontario. So, but it kind of tapered off now. So we are here in the cold.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I heard that Florida is very chilly down there.
Very chilly in Florida.
And I heard that Jamaica seems to be booming in the sunshine. Report.
You do?
Tonight, I have a good report.
Yes.
There are sections in St. Elizabeth that was severely devastated by the catastrophic Melissa. They have gotten back light. Electricity have returned to the Junction area, the Comapen area, the Littich area, Top Hill, Southfield, the southern belt of the parish have received electricity and their internet is up. I spoke to my family today and I'm here to bring good news that the Prime Minister and his delegates and ministers are doing a tremendous job with the partners involved. to
Yes.
get things up and rolling in the food basket parish of Jamaica, my parish, St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
Things are coming on, sir. I'm
Very
happy
ni-
to report.
That's
Happy to
fantastic.
report. Yes,
That
sir.
that is fantastic news.
Yes,
Yeah.
man.
Yes, sir.
So, you know,
Go ahead.
all is not lost, neighbor.
Oh,
All
not at
is
all.
not lost. It will take time
Uh-huh.
for everything to come back to full force and in full effect.
Yes,
But
sir.
as it is at the moment, based on the report I got, and I'm getting it from credible source. I'm
Yes.
getting it from my brother. So that's a credible source.
Yes,
And he said, Mark, everything is good. Everything is good. We can drink ice water again. Even ice water. They can
Fantastic.
drink.
Imagine what an appreciation of a little ice water.
I know, right?
Wow,
Yes.
I tell you.
So what's on the go tonight? We're still on the generator thing that my prime minister will be lending out.
No, sir. As a matter of fact, what I wanted to do, or what I did earlier, was I took my listeners in a back room, giving them an understanding of a day in the life of the prime minister. Just
All
imagine, sir, the prime minister the day after the storm. You know, Your Highness. One of the things that we do with leaders sometimes is that we sometimes feel that they are gods. That they are not human beings that go and use the toilet and urine and feel hungry and have to sleep. We somehow think that there are some little demigods that, don't have emotions. And I want to think, sir, that just imagine the prime minister as he gets up that Wednesday morning and start receiving news of what's happening across the country. Just imagine the pressure.
Devastation, yes.
Just imagine the pressure on his mind and his back, and how he has to be thinking on his feet and giving instructions as all these leaders from across the world are calling, and the ministers are calling him to say, Prime Minister, my constituency has been devastated. He's getting reports from the police that how many people are gone missing, and he jumps on his helicopter, sir, and he starts to view it for himself. Imagine how he must be feeling.
But let me just say something, neighbor, in relation to what you have just mentioned about the background life of the great, soon to be the GOAT of all prime ministers that ever ruled Jamaica.
The GOAT.
Andrew Holness is the only prime minister that have encountered 3 great devastation in his leadership thus far.
What are they?
We have COVID-19.
That was a mammoth one.
We have burial in 2024.
Yes.
And now we have Melissa the Great in 2025. No prime minister in Jamaica have ever dealt with 3 catastrophic, devastating destruction that have ever hit Jamaica, except the most honorable Dr. Michael Andrew Holness.
And you say he's to be called the GOAT, sir?
And he will soon be the GOAT of all prime ministers.
No, what does GOAT means?
Greatest of all time.
Oh, what
The
you say to me?
greatest of all time.
What? Hold on, sir. Hold on.
To be the greatest of all time.
Hold on there for me a little bit. 26 after 8 o'clock. My goodness, the GOAT.
And I can't sweep the wall.
This is what the PNP them did want to stop. But can a man stop God work? Can man stop God work? King Dariel is
Very exciting. And darling, I will loving you till we're 70.
Oh gosh,
Oh yeah.
I can't believe the high.
And baby,
Boy, I'll tell you something. This is all very exciting.
I'll let it breathe. Oh yeah. People fall in love with
My friend from St. Elizabeth is on.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. He says the Prime Minister is soon to be called the GOAT.
Greatest of all time. Greatest of all times.
Greater than Michael Manley.
Greater than Michael Manley, and Michael Manley was great.
Like they used to before. And I can't sweep you off your feet. When your mouth still remember the taste of my hand.
Michael, greater than Eddie Siaga.
Greater than Edward Siaga, and he was great.
Greater than PJ.
And he was great. But Dr. Andrew Holness will be the greatest of all times.
Why you say that?
Yes, sir. No prime minister in Jamaica have ever encountered so many devastation and still stay strong, leading from the front and not from behind.
Hold on. He doesn't lead from behind. I tell you, that's fun.
Led from the front.
Well,
sir.
Oh boy.
Because guess what? Forward still is Jehovah's will. Though the billows of Jamaica may dash and spray, with a conquering thread, Andrew shall forge ahead and push PNP out of the way.
The PNP will be pushed out of the way?
Right out of the way, never to regain any status in Jamaica again.
You don't think the PNP is going to return to power?
When I'm dead and gone.
But you're gonna live for a long time. So
that's what I'm telling you. So the Jamaica Labour Party will always be. We're going for 4th term and we're going for 5th term. Watch and see. Watch and see.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but we have a lot to discuss.
My God. Hold on for me, Dessa. Hold on.
Baby, you're forever in my mind, a memory, never be erased.
It's 8:30 in Jamaica. I'm getting news here that Holness will be the GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
Never heard that yet.
Greatest of all time.
So let me ask you a question, Your Highness. How you think Goldin would have managed this crisis? How you think he would have managed it?
Oh God, man, Mark Goldin would have packed up long time and regained his United Kingdom passport and would be somewhere in Yorkshire in the United Kingdom at this time.
Hold on. Why would he gain his United Kingdom passport?
Remember, it was said he's a British, and it was also alleged that he would have denounced it.
Has he?
I am not sure. It was stated or alleged that he had denounced the British citizenship. But I'm saying to you, if he was in leadership position right now, going through this great catastrophe in Jamaica, he would have asked the British High Commission in Kingston to return his citizenship so that he could fly out. God knows.
What are you saying to me, sir?
He would
run away.
have the backbone to stand up and to face what Andrew Holness is facing. Marky G. Goldin doesn't have the backbone to face what Andrew Holness is facing right now. Andrew is the GOAT. GOAT, greatest of all time.
My God.
Just wait, maybe just a touch of the hand.
you really rate this money? You rate him?
I love the man, the strong leader.
Yes.
He's a strong leader, and as I said, he doesn't lead from behind. He's leading from the front, forward still, never to look back. Jamaica must be built back better than before. St. Elizabeth must bounce back from where it has fallen from, and to be known once more as the food basket parish of the beautiful island of Jamaica that I love to come and I love to spend my money.
Yes. My God. Let me ask you a question. You think that the recovery so far has been going well?
To be frank with you, based on what I have been hearing, based on what I have been listening to from your broadcast, from the Prime Minister's office, from the updated information that was given out this morning through government officials, I do believe that the system is up and running. They are trying to reach as many people who they can reach. And for those who have been marooned, they are trying to ensure that they can get to those communities as well. It is very imperative for us to understand as Jamaicans that progress comes not on a fast pace, but it comes as we go along. It takes time. And if you look back to 2 weeks ago, and look at where we are now, I am here to report progress, because just the mere fact that St. Elizabeth, which that was the epicenter of Hurricane Melissa, and there are places there that have regained their electricity, their water, their internet, that is to tell you and me, neighbor, that things are on the right track and things are moving steadily, and that's what we want.
You know, sir, the members of the opposition have come online begging money. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, everybody have their platform to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. If a member of the People's National Party want to come on TikTok or into TikTok land and reach out and solicitate funding to help their constituency or help communities marooned by this devastating disaster, I have no issue doing that, because people give to who they want to give to. I am a proud son of a mother who have done higgling for 52 years. God bless her soul. May she continue to rest in peace.
Wow.
And what I'm saying to you is that everybody in the market have their own customer, though they're selling the same produce. So I have no issue with what they're doing.
Well, that's one. That is true. No. In terms of the responsibility, though, of people, don't you think that this is a shared effort between government and people, and that there is a place for the residents, for the citizens to understand that they have to accept responsibility in building back their own lives?
Absolutely. It is very imperative. It is very imperative for us as a nation and as a people to understand that we can't sit down and wait on the government to do everything for us. If you see where you can tap down the nail, the zinc back on your roof that was blown off, go ahead and do it until help comes, and stop crying that you have to be sleeping under a tree or under a tarpaulin, because we have to be ourselves, understand to me, to ensure that the work is carried out not only in one way, but is a holistic effort. Is everybody participating to get the job done with effectiveness and with efficiency?
No, the Prime Minister is not on the island. He has left to attend the COP.
COP 30.
Right. Do you think that's a good idea for him to be away at this time?
Sir, it is very important for the government of Jamaica and the most honorable Michael and Holness to be still involved in world events and world activities that are going on. Not because Jamaica have been struck by a disaster, the Prime Minister will not be able to go out and represent Jamaica. It shows how strong Jamaica is. It shows how resilient Jamaicans are by having our Prime Minister standing there telling the world that, listen, because of climate change, Jamaica have been plunged into this disaster, and I'm here to solicit support from the entire globe, from the entire world, so that Jamaica can be strong and free.
Well, that is true. And what type of presentation are you expecting him to make there in context of where his country is at this time?
Well, again, we have to look at global warming. We have to look at the warming of the Caribbean water, the Caribbean basin. We have to look at all the drillings going on. We have to look at what is causing all these catastrophes, not only in Jamaica, but around the world. We saw what happened to the Philippines. We saw what happened to Taiwan.
Yes.
We saw what happened to Vietnam. We have seen it all. Look at what is happening in Canada now. It's November the 11th, and we have been having snow from November 9th. In the past 15 years, it's the first time in 15 years we have snow in November in Canada. That's what I'm saying, global change.
Am I not correct, Your Highness, as I must run quickly, that the goodwill to Jamaica is not just aid to the country, but an endorsement of the leadership of the government? Am I not correct that the help Jamaica is getting is largely because of Holness?
Repeat that question for me, because I was a bit distracted by the comments somebody was making that this, Your Highness, is sound like a teacher, is very intelligent. I was distracted there. Go ahead with the question.
I'm asking if I'm correct to surmise that the aid that Jamaica is getting is not just an act of goodwill and not a humanitarian goodwill from countries.
No. You don't need to finish the question, neighbor. It is only because of the Prime Minister and Holness and his association with world leaders. Jamaica have come, the world have come to know Jamaica as a little place, a little rock with strong, resilient, smart, brave, intelligent people. And we have a leader that is leading from the front and not from behind. The world is looking on Jamaica. Jamaica is one of the destinations in the world that everybody wants to run to. We have the turquoise water. We have the white sand beaches. We have the people. You have somebody like me and you, very vocal, standing up as patriots for our country and letting the world know that Jamaica is strong and free. Andrew have positioned Jamaica on the world map so that leaders from all over this globe, Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, Germany, France, Britain, El Salvador, can you imagine El Salvador coming on board? They are all the way down in South America. They need help themselves. And they have stepped up, they have stepped in, and they have showed up, and they have showed off. We thank God for El Salvador for what they have done. And it's all because of the Prime Minister's influence and affluence with these people around the world.
Isn't it a fantastic endorsement of the government too that they have the foresight to take out a catastrophe bond? I understand that the country is close to over $30 billion. Isn't that a very commendable thing, Your Highness, from the government?
It's one of the most commendable thing. The great remind me of his name. He was our Minister of Finance.
Clark.
Nigel Clark. when Nigel Clark looked into this this situation and see how Jamaica is located in the hurricane belt in the Caribbean. And that's an investment that he pledged and he opened up. And right now, Jamaica benefited 100% from that bond. We are going to get 150 million US dollars. And that was from wise intuition, that was from wise analysis, that was from wise reasoning, and hence Jamaica will be benefited from that cat bond that we will be getting from the World Bank. Very commendable to Nigel Clark, who is no longer with us, but is with the IMF right now. But he had done Jamaica justice. He had done Jamaica proud. And I am a proud Jamaican and want to thank him wherever he is listening from, wherever he is. Thank you, Nigel, for what you have done for our island home of Jamaica.
Two more questions before you go. One, the credit that you give to the Prime Minister from Canada, why is it that more Jamaicans here at home do not see these things and are crediting the PM? What's the problem?
You know what? The Bible says a king have never gotten the crown in his own town or in his own city. And you will not get the crown in Jamaica, but the crown would have to come from people in the diaspora, like myself. And we're here to let Jamaica and Jamaicans know that the Prime Minister is doing an incredible job. The Prime Minister is doing a great job. The Prime Minister is standing with Jamaica and Jamaicans. And as Jamaicans, we need to be proud. We need to be thankful. And we need to be hopeful that we have a Prime Minister that has set the standard and will be known as the GOAT, greatest of all times. The most honorable, right excellent, Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, Juliet husband.
Juliet husband. I tell you the truth. This is fantastic. You know, finally, sir, I'd love to hear your comment as you go on the Prime Minister. I played the speech earlier of the Prime Minister saying that he wants to open back up.
And I intend to go and visit some more of the areas that are hit. But I had to break that to make reopen. Now, they can't reopen for one main reason. They don't have electricity. That's one. And the second is that supplies can't get to them. The distributive trade, which, by the way, is an incredible logistics operation. They supply thousands of shops every day with trucks going all over Jamaica. That has been hit. And they can't call to place orders. And some of them can't access cash. So I've asked the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce to develop a plan to support the small shops in communities right across Jamaica to get them up and running. One of the first things that we have done is we have identified some generators, and we're going to make those generators available we're going to start with 50 in the most impacted and remote communities. We will loan them the generators, but of course there will be some requirements for compliance issues and to ensure that they are established operations that we...
All right. So the Prime Minister, Your Highness, have come under a lot of criticism for this. What is your take on it?
You know, neighbor, again, we have to come out of the era where we blame. I think Jamaica and Jamaicans need to understand that though Belgium have donated over 450 generators to Jamaica, it is not for individual use or to be given out. It's for our nation. It's for the entire Jamaica to benefit from it. as the Prime Minister would have stated, there are places that need to bounce back, to recover. And if a generator can go in so that one community can have a cold bottle of Sprite or a cold bottle of Coca-Cola with a piece of frozen chicken or whatever for their Sunday dinner or whatever, let's give it to this one small shop in that community. Loan them. They have to be credible. We're gonna make sure that the police do their background check. We're gonna make sure that the JP do their background check to know that neighbor is a credible person, and we can trust by giving neighbor that one generator, because we don't know when the next catastrophe is gonna hit Jamaica, and those same generators are gonna be required to send to Portland, to send to St. Thomas, to send to St. Mary, to send to St. Anne. We don't know. So what we're doing now, when St. Elizabeth recovers strong and good, we will have those in our inventory to go back to and to send out to other places in the future. Nothing is wrong with that, sir.
Fantastic. Now, I have to ask you to help me raise $90, $90 US.
All right, people, top up the live. The neighbor want to ensure that the life goals are met. Sending the lion, sending the universe, sending the galaxy. We need it right now. Go ahead. You know what is right. You're getting credible, authentic, and sophisticated information over here. Do what is right and make sure we reach a life goal for tonight. God bless you, God bless neighbor, and God bless Jamaica.
Have a fantastic night, my brother. Well, Caroline, can you help me with the Cash App and the Zelle account? If you're in Canada, we have the
e-transfer.
We have the what? Help me, Caroline.
E-transfer.
E-transfer. We do have e-transfer for Canada. $90, please. We need $90 to complete our, well, not complete, just starting. 11 minutes to 9 o'clock, and we need $90.
Every single day, I just want to tell you I am.
$90 to move on. Khadija, hi, good night. Are you in the diaspora? $20, 10, 15, 5, whatever you can. E-transfer from Canada is available. Wow. Getting back to our callers soon, eh? Your Highness is on 324.
When my years are gone and my memories fade, and the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands,
Smithy, you want to do an e-transfer from Canada? Well, Caroline will help you. $90 we need, please. $90, okay?
honey, you're
We're short $90 tonight, and we need to get that, all right?
all is evergreen.
So get on the Cash App now on the Zelle, and let's see if we can
Forever in
achieve that, all right?
never be erased. People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of the plan. Well, I just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand.
Let's scratch it. Come up for me, please. Come on, we need $90. Come on. What's happening here? What's happening here?
Kiss me under the light of the
Just 4 persons sent $20. Please.
place your head on my beating heart, thinking out loud.
4 persons need to jump on and jump in with $20, eh? And then with 1 person $10. Very.
Well, I was taking in a little of the parliamentary discussions earlier today, and never got a lot, but I saw where one Peter Bunting put his foot in his mouth once again.
Well, what is happening?
Well, he was speaking on the responsibility for the bauxite companies in various communities, specifically Manchester, where they do have a corporate responsibility once they're operating there. And he stated that the companies would have mined approximately 95% of the minerals and leave approximately additional 5 in order to get out of that responsibility, because they would deem that they're still operating. And I believe the corporate responsibility would have been, once they've completed mining, there is some form of development that they have to do, or compensation surrounding the communities. But where he put his foot in his mouth was when he said he was giving the recommendation for some form of compensation, having a escrow account. So I want to quote him very well. And a percentage based on the tons of bauxite that are being mined. And again, neighbor, it comes back to all about the money with the opposition. Because he states that he's been recommending this since 2008. Now, if we're in terms of our recollection, didn't the current opposition actually did a few terms within that time frame? So why did not his recommendation was not put in place by his own government? And he later then also admitted that for bauxite, it's only a little that's remaining in terms of us getting revenues from it. So why is it that in its peak and in its prime, when Jamaica had a lot of bauxite and it was booming and we're dependent on it, he was still a part of that government and he did not recommend it such things? So why do you want to recommend it when there's little to no money there? And all of a sudden you want to design an escrow account where monies can go towards communities, but there's no detail, there's no criteria of how this money can be used, because he just broad brush it to say for environmental purposes in the future. Right? So you cannot be bashing and saying this government is not looking to put it into place when you were also a part of several administrations that didn't put it into place as well.
I never watched Parliament. Is that give us a little bit more context in terms of what this is about.
So it's regarding Minister Favour actually speaking on monies that were dispersed for projects regarding bauxite in and around communities. I believe she quoted a sum amount overall projects that would have been done, and he's saying no community within his constituency benefited from any of that, right? When truth and in fact that's not so. So he wanted to know where were the projects being done, and also recommending how communities can benefit from what is left of the bauxite mining in Jamaica. So really and truly, again, they were still centralized around the monetary aspect of things.
Million?
Yes. So it was, I think it was
to get about 5 million out of that.
Right, so it would have been split up, because I believe Warmington was also speaking on it. But of course, they're always going to target him. So it got a little bit more of some noise, because we understand the character when it comes down to Warmington. So they kind of rile him up a little to kind of sway away. But it's monies that would have been or should be dispersed over a period of time.
Let's listen a little bit to it.
I tried to reach out to the company to say, well, at least tell me what areas you are going to be covering so that we don't duplicate the trucking of the water and the little allocation can go as far as possible. Not even the courtesy of a response from the company as the elected representative of the people. So, Madam Speaker, I believe we have to, this industry is in its twilight. And in a sense, they say it's you know, the last kick of a dying mule is what you must be careful of. We need to be double our vigilance in terms of monitoring the environmental risks and the impact that these operations are in front of you. To the amount being allocated to those.
Is the member from St. Catherine.
Madam Speaker, I have no problem with the position taken by the member from South Manchester as it relates to reclamation by the bauxite companies. But I have a problem with the part of his presentation as it relates to the amount being allocated to those constituencies that have to do with bauxite. He spoke about 100 million per year over 3 years. But the issue is that the amount that's allocated to those constituencies is not to get 100 million per divide per year. Is that the amount you get a chance to deal with that over 3 years, the procurement and the implementation of projects. It also said that it's an embarrassment and insult of 100 million per year. I must know what I'm talking about. Man, I need no help from you. I am saying, just hear me first, man. Hear me first. Rasta man, just behave. I am saying, I didn't call a name. You can't call my name. It was a consequence. It was a Rasta man. But when it started, it was under Dr. Paul Robertson. And those constituencies that the mined bauxite from got 2 million per year. Southwest St. Catherine got 1 million over that period, during the period when they got 2 million. It was former member of the Shaw that increased the amount from 2 to 4. And the amount for countries like mine from 1 to 2. But remember, I was sat in cabinet over these years. He didn't advocate then for serious increase then. But now you find it convenient to ask it now. It's hypocritical. He made some good points in the presentation. But when they talk about the amount, bro, you just come back, that's why you don't understand. It's not a statement, minister, no. It's not a statement, minister. It's not a statement, you just come back, learn a little bit. So I'm saying, Madam Speaker, it's hypocritical for the member to criticize the amount. When he left here was 2 million. He now comes back and is now 4 million. He never objected on the Dr. Paul Robertson on his cabinet. But you know me tell the truth, Mikhail. You know me tell the truth. So I don't disagree with them now. That it could have been increased or can be increased, but never criticize it under his government. So no criticize now.
All right. So Harry, a little bit of that's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, go ahead, Harry.
Yeah, so it and as someone Hamilton put it, he's being very much hypocritical in his thing, especially neighbor in a time like this. Right? We're still going through the crisis, the disaster not gone yet. So you could have actually put that on the backbench rather than come and trying to package it as if you're really fighting for your constituents and persons who may be affected, right? Because no, certain things I think is not priority. So how I look at stuff, right? I have several boxes. I have priority, I have importance, and I have that subset where they're equal between priority and importance. So you get those things out first, then you go priority and then importance. So I believe, while the recommendation may be good, him saying he would have put this forward from 2008, but yet still when you were in the position of power, of strength to get it done, you threw it on the backbench. And now you want to bring it up in a time like this to let it seem like you were doing something.
Yeah,
And,
I get you.
Yeah, and that for me doesn't sit well now. It really doesn't sit well. And I said, based on where we are right now, that shouldn't be a priority in my view. Right? And especially with the fact that you want to increase it. Didn't give a definitive figure as to what the increase is. But come on, man, give credit on the fact that when you look at it, when you last leave it there, it is now increased by 100%. Give on to Caesar what is for Caesar, man. Just like how they said we couldn't rate the threshold, and it doubled. And these are the things they tend to do. So they discredit it, and then on a backhand kind of compliment thing just comes up with something else. It has always been a strategy of the Member of Parliament and also the PMP to a great extent.
Yeah. What else came out of Parliament today? Did you hear anything else?
No, I actually caught it on his part specifically.
Okay. All right. I must listen. But I found this interesting.
What I've learned over my 26 years here, that once the marshal announces the speaker, everyone must be in silence. Secondly, once the speaker enters the chamber and the door is closed, no one is to enter until prayer is completed. But I notice other members who have been here for some time be doing it. And members who just came to the house recently been following those examples. So you need to set it clear that once the marshal announces the speaker, all members must be in reverence. And I also noticed after the prayers, we're all talking and making noise before you say the house, before you call the house to order. Over the years, what we have, we all keep silent until the speaker announces. Secondly, no member is to enter the chamber once the speaker comes through that door until after she announces the house is called to order. Why I raise it is because I've seen young members doing it, coming through, because they follow the example of members who've been here before. So that needs to be said clear, Madam Speaker, that the rules be observed and the respect be shown to the chair.
Yeah, Mr. Warmington, they're suggesting that the respect in Parliament is breaking down. Harry, he would make a good speaker, you know.
I don't think they would really want him as a speaker, you know, neighbor. I mean, he has the most experience there because I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, currently he's the longest standing parliamentarian there right now.
No, I don't think he's the longest, but he does have years under his belt.
Right. And he knows the standing orders. He knows the rules and regulations. And I mean, take it from a man that knows very well how to walk out of Parliament when he needs to. Right? So, but this is it. This tone has been set from the election, from Andrew Holness' swearing when Mark Golding refused to stand. Right? And that would have been against the proceedings or what we would have observed as the normal, right? And we see that play out right through. I know we're doing it in Parliament and I want to let it seem like it's okay. This, regardless of what we think personally about Mr. Warmington, this is something he's good at. This is where he shows his value to the party, to the nation.
He excels at this, absolutely. Yeah.
Right? And I think that's so sometimes we have to.
He's going to be missed in the parliament, you know.
Definitely, definitely. And I want to tell you, he has done an exceptional job for the party. I think he's one of the best serving members because he is a very good watchdog when it comes on to the rules, the regulations, policies. I
Yeah.
don't see from either parties
I don't see any
anybody. Right. But we do know he has his, outer moments that we don't agree with, right? But what I can say, when he's right, there's no shifting him.
No shit.
And I want to throw this word of caution to Miss Burchell and Miss Jess. Don't cross the path because their time is coming. So if I was them, I would wait him out. I'd agree with every single rule for about 2 years when he leaves.
Well, I have another guest, and I'm actually running out of time. Henriquez, Swaby, are you on? Swaby, hi. No, we don't have Swaby. Well, it's been a fantastic night on this program, you know. Really been a great evening of listening to my friends from Canada. And as we head towards the close, just want to say to our listeners that we appreciate your gifts and your contributions. I know that you have your own responsibilities, and especially at a time like now, you have to be helping out your friends here in Jamaica. But we have limited time when we don't have sponsors. So when we don't have sponsors, we can't click 10 o'clock because that's additional cost to us. We can't be here, so we want you to know that, all right? Charmaine, good night to you. Charmaine, good night. Howard Bender, good night. 13 after 9. Howard Bender, are you there? Charmaine, are you there? No, they are not. Just want my listeners to know that we come on at 9 a.m., 9 to 10. That's what we can afford. And 7 to 9. Monday to Friday. We encourage you to tap the screen, share the live, and to text 876-858-9553 if you want any information on how to support the program. We have a Zelle account, we have a Cash App, and we have the one in Canada. Remind me of what it is.
E-transfer.
An e-transfer. There you go. So, Your Highness, what else on your mind, sir? You want to share anything else?
Well, not really. Just to what Harry was saying earlier on in relation to the backside mining in Jamaica. I'm from St. Elizabeth, and we would have had one of the biggest backside plant there. The Aluminum Partners of Jamaica, Alpart, that have been dormant now for a few years. I was recently briefed that it was now sold out to the China Harbor, and they will be kind of doing some reopening down there. I'm not so sure how is that going, when will that be taking place or what. But in relation to what Peter Bunting was saying, and Warmington is so correct. When he was in the position to make all these references and so forth, he wasn't doing it. And now that my prime minister is leading from the front and not from behind, they are now coming up with these great proposals and stuff. So he need to understand that if it wasn't for South Manchester the other day, he would not have seen the front door of Parliament. So he need to be grateful for the people of South Manchester who kind of put him back up there. So when he's there now, just sit down, listen to the seasoned politician like Warmington, who knows very well how Parliament runs. And I am sure if they spend time to listen, Jamaica and Jamaica Parliament will not be a parliament of chaos, but it will be a parliament that shows result. So I just want to close on that tonight, that they should just sit back, listen, and let the Prime Minister and his delegate lead. And while they give their credible support, and let the country move in all fairness, let the country just continue to grow, because we are growing. We have seen the growth, and we have seen and we have seen how Jamaica have gained a reputation around the world. We're little, but with Talawa, there are many great people out of Jamaica, whether they're in Jamaica or in the diaspora, that have pumped and have pushed so much back into Jamaica for making Jamaica what it is today. So I just want to close on that note, that let us continue to push Jamaica forward. Push Jamaica forward so that we can overcome from the disasters, and we can overcome from anything else that is out there, out there trying to find a way to get in. We don't know. We don't know what else is on the horizon, but whatever else is out there, let us continue to press forward. Let us continue to hold each other spirits up, and let us continue to support Jamaica land we love. We have an anthem that clearly defines what we are. It says, "Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers." And that's what we need to do, to continue to trust in God and let God lead Jamaica to where Jamaica needs to be. God bless the listeners, neighboring TikTok land tonight.
Yes.
And God bless you, sir. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All right.
For Jamaica's relief and recovery effort is significant. I don't want to call everybody's name now. I leave the Minister of Foreign Affairs to give a comprehensive review of all the countries that have reached out to us. And I've had direct conversations with several world leaders about how they can help. The relief effort is obviously being supported, but the conversations have moved past the relief stage now, where we're talking about recovery. And that's where I am engaging several world leaders as to how they can play a role in the recovery from the disaster. You would have heard me say in the presentation to Parliament that the damage could be anywhere from 6 to 7 billion US dollars. That is a conservative estimate. I have seen one economist saying something much more. I don't want to be alarmist, but we're going through the process of trying to assess the damage. How you feel will largely guide how you act. And there are a lot of people out there who are deliberately creating misinformation. And my job is to give you the correct information. If you choose not to listen to it, that's your business. but at least the correct information must be out there. I've seen someone say, Prime Minister don't like criticism. Nonsense. Not every opinion makes sense. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
Harry?
Yes, neighbor.
Criticism. Nonsense. Not every opinion makes sense. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them.
What is the Prime Minister saying there?
I think he realized now that he has people on edge with potential information that he may have to rebut misinformation. But being that he didn't call any names, he would know exactly who is afraid. But my point to him is,
hold on there. Let me hear the Prime Minister again.
Correct information. If you choose not to listen to it, that's your business. But at least the correct information must be out there. I've seen someone say, Prime Minister don't like criticism. Nonsense. Not every opinion makes sense. I am not one who fears criticism, but there are people who fear me when I respond to them. Be assured that I will respond to any nonsense that is put out. Not to be distracted. The critical ones, because managing information is also an important part of the disaster management. If you allow people to cast your nation into despair and grief, to smother hope, to ignore the heroic efforts that people are making, and to just focus on the negative, then we'll have a negative outlook in a time when we need people to be positive in their outlook about our recovery. So I ask all Jamaicans of good mind and goodwill to stand up to those who are seeking to become popular on negativity.
Harry, people are seeking to become popular on negativity. Is that not true?
it is 110% accurate, neighbor. Right?
Because what we are seeing is the Prime Minister not correct that at a time when people are suffering, people are trying to build platforms, social media platforms, on the suffering of people?
Well, with every situation, you'll have scavengers in a neighbor. And I specifically choose the word scavengers because at every and any opportunity, they will take it. Because, for example, it is now, in terms of nowadays, we see we have an accident, and rather than people helping the individual, the first thing they do is take out phone because I can get it on TikTok live and I'm me first. So we've lost that sensitivity when it comes on to us within our culture, and as such, everybody will see to technically feed off whatever scraps. They're almost as well being leeches for every single situation, because whether it be, oh, I can grow my platform, or I'm the first one to say it, and these mediocrity kind of things. So he is right, neighbor. So people will take this as an opportunity. In fact,
the Prime Minister is saying that Jamaicans of good mind and goodwill are to stand up to those who are seeking to gain popularity through negativity and misinformation. Harry, is this not what we are doing here? Aren't we, without even listening to the Prime Minister, aren't we standing up to this?
Definitely, neighbor, because we are also our brother's keeper, and we want the best outcome possible in this disaster. And even if there wasn't any disaster, misinformation is a threat to our integrity as a people, to how well we grow as a nation, and how the rest of the world perceives us. Because we currently have a problem now where locals see negative things about the administration of in terms of the Prime Minister, but then the rest of the world sees him as high standing, as of good value, right? Proper leadership. And then it shows that they aren't feeding into this aspect of misinformation, because I don't know where the rest of the world gets information from, neighbor, but wherever they get it from, I think the locals should get it too, because They seem to understand better what is at the helm, who is leading the administration that is leading the country. Because clearly, I think everything that is packaged looking well and nice and sound good, neighbor, people run with it. People with low emotional, when it comes down to low emotional intelligence, neighbor, and that's something we tonight and every night, every time you have the program, are stamping out and putting our foot in the neck of it to ensure that it goes no further. Because of course there is power in the tongue, neighbor.
Listen to this.
Interest of the government to have the highest level of transparency in what we do. There is no victory for JLP communities to have food and PMP communities not. There is no victory or vice versa. None whatsoever. And therefore, we will put in place every measure to ensure that whatever is given to us and whatever we spend from our budget, fairly done, everybody can see it, and everyone benefits. So as soon as we meet again by the next parliament, that...
Henriquez, isn't this part of the fear of the opposition that the PM is trying to allay, that somehow he is going to be partisan, and the Prime Minister is making it clear that he doesn't practice that type of politics? You agree with him?
Definitely, and he has shown it even when he campaigns, neighbor. Because I believe it was Northwest when he went. This lady refused to shake his hand, and he let her know that I am governing Jamaica. It doesn't matter if you're green or you're orange. I am for Jamaicans, right? And it's not a partisan thing. I am the leader. I am the Prime Minister, and I have to govern in the best interest of everybody. So it doesn't matter what the opposition wants to do. His administration have to ensure that they don't falter, they don't yield to the innuendos, the propagandas, and the misinformation that the opposition seems to be very much orchestrating and doing. So, because I like to give them credit in a neighbor when they do something good, whether or not it's for the betterment of the country, right? And I always want to say that energy, that time, that strategic planning that they do for the negativity, if they just put 20% of that in positive aspects, we'll be better as a nation, in a neighbor.
Absolutely. Hold on there for me.
International support for...
One other thing, Harry, is that our country, crayfish no have no brain. Our country does not understand the connections that the Prime Minister is making with international partners. He's gone off the COP. Listen to this.
Or Jamaica's relief and recovery effort is significant. I don't want to call everybody's name now. I leave the Minister of Foreign Affairs. International support for Jamaica's relief and recovery effort is significant.
International support is significant, Henriquez. We should be thankful for this.
Definitely, especially when the gestures we're seeing, neighbor, specifically when we look at the level of aid, which we have never gotten under no other administration prior to now, right? The level of investment we're getting, even though the world is not in the best of shape, but we're getting our confidence from investors are higher than ever before, right? But I think what is happening is that the poisoning of the people's mind, whenever they hear of foreigners, they think of it, oh, they're trying to take away my land or take away things from me, take away my job. But they've never ever looked at it to say, maybe I can learn something from that. Maybe they're pumping into us because we don't have the level of capital to even realize our full potential, right? But they never ever look at it that way, neighbor. They think of, when they hear change, they think of negative things, like I'm going to lose. But no, how about look at it and say, they believe in us. Of course they're going to get returns, but surely I can learn from their ways, from their expertise, experiences, and be better. Because we can't stay here and know and do everything and flourish. We have to collaborate. And I think that is something the average man who gets his mind brainwashed, neighbor, seem to not realize they don't see the bigger picture. And I think programs like this have to continue, neighbor, have to keep pressing to clear up some of that, man, to remove the blockage, to take that speck out of the eye so they can see the vision.
Hold on, listen.
This week, Sunday, I had a call with the UN Secretary General. The UN Secretary General is a friend of Jamaica. He has visited me a few times. We're always working closer together on climate change, on financing for development. And he does have a special place in his heart for Jamaica. And I said to him, what we needed was the best-in-class logistics capabilities. And within a few days, in fact, yesterday I had a meeting with the Deputy Secretary General in charge of these kinds of operations from UN Ops, and they are mobilizing a full team that will come and support the logistics and management efforts of ODPEM.
Why I play that, Harry, is that I want to help my listeners to connect the dot. There is a behind-the-scene management of this crisis that we don't see. And I think people need to understand that those who are calling for the Prime Minister to put on water boot and raincoat need to understand that he has to make the critical calls based on what he wants to see happening on the ground. The international support that Jamaica is getting is not just coming because people want to come. This is the Prime Minister working the phone, working the ground, leveraging his support across the world.
Definitely, neighbor, and I think they say you can't speak of what you don't see, and I think a lot of people is unjustly and unfairly criticizing him. Of course, what I've said before on previous lives, that we have too much self-proclaimed experts, neighbor, who think they know what is being done, as if they're a fly in the room when these decisions are being made, right? And while you can't know everything, I'd lay an additional responsibility to the PM's foot to say, give the country a little bit more transparency, get this information a little bit more out, so you don't have to know when you're
speak of these things a little more.
Yes, like get it out. Even he doesn't even have to be the one to do it. But what I do realize, to combat what they're trying, right? Because they're attacking him in a neighbor, not his administration. If we look at it, right? So he can flip that neighbor. Just like how now he's coming out and he's forceful when he's speaking in Parliament. You don't have to always wait for certain things to be put out to the public in Parliament. Because I can tell you, not many persons really care for Parliament or listen to Parliament. So we now have to find another avenue, neighbor, that can facilitate conversations like this directly from him or his office and so on. And that will do him a lot better. So people will see it. Because if you're targeting me, right, then I'm going to step up and let you see a different side of what's happening. Because again, people will have a lot to say, and this has been something for the Jamaica Labour Party. They're either slow to address things, or they wait until it's a little bit too bad because they believe that they don't want to spend the time for it to distract them. And while that may be true, neighbor, you have to balance it.
Hold on, here's another clip.
I stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we must dismiss out of hand any argument that would seek to divide this country politically when it comes to the distribution of aid. As far as I'm concerned, every Jamaican is entitled to the aid that comes in and to the spending of the government. There will be no politicization of aid.
The Prime Minister is very clear, Harry, and therefore this. The Prime Minister is very clear, and therefore the generator issue is really a non-issue. We don't have to spend a lot of time on that. Harry is in a little bad spot. Listen to the rest.
It never happened in COVID. It never happened in Beryl, and it will not happen. Madam Speaker, I can point out to you that the member from Eastern Westmoreland made his public comments. I saw them. I reached out to the leader of the opposition. I recognized your pain in what you said. I saw your public comments. I recognized the pain in what you said, and I asked the member from Southeast Clarendon, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, to reach out to you. It is only a matter of logistics why I was not able to land in Darliston or in White House. My friend, if the helicopters could have landed me there, I would have landed there, and I would have been by your side if I could find you. There was no attempt whatsoever, and the suffering of Jamaicans in your constituency, the suffering of Jamaicans in the constituency of Northwest St. Elizabeth is of concern. There are constituencies over here that we have not reached. Southern Trelawney, we haven't reached. Northwestern St. Elizabeth, we haven't reached. So all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, and to Jamaica, I must stand up firmly and close the door on any attempt to politicize aid. Let me stand here and say that there was never any intention or action on this government designed to marginalize, discriminate, isolate, alienate any member of parliament. And we...
Harry, so the Prime Minister is clear that as far as he is concerned, the driver of policy, nothing political is happening as far as the aid distribution is concerned.
Right, and while the well thinkers will know that, neighbor, because we can see through the theatrics, the performances of what the members of the opposition are doing, right? The average man on the ground will take and run with everything, especially those who are specifically impacted and does not have the connectivity currently to get clarity and get the correct information. They're going to buy into what the MP says.
Yes. Then how is it then, Harry? Very good point. How is it then that the government can bring this in? Because you have made a fine point there. Because when we keep press conferences in Kingston, the people in St. Elizabeth not seeing the press conference and those who have no electricity, we have to find a way to get the information to them. And it has to come through the MPs. Why you close the mic, Harry?
Oh no, I just don't want the breeze to feed in when they're talking.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Yeah,
but with it, because I was speaking to an individual yesterday, similar conversation, and we were looking at how they could ensure that the people on the ground understands what's happening, because I don't think they have even 20% of the full understanding of what's happening, right? So when they meet somebody now who is carrying aid as somebody who's doing something good, and they don't see the government per se, and then they hear that person say, well, we come to this and government never land and all of that, it causes confusion. And then with the survival mode that they're in, neighbor, they're going to side with what seems favorable to them.
Trust will.
Yes, so I am asking you, sir, how is the information, Minister Dana Morris Dixon, how do you plan to get information to the people who are now out of electricity power? They have to get it on the ground. This is where the political operatives become important, Harry.
Right, and that's why as I said, I don't want to see it go to the grassroots. Get your councillors out. Get your caretaker MPs who didn't win. They know the truth. You're on the ground, because I don't want to believe that despite the fact that you lose, you're not there now. So I'm taking it for granted. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, both sides, that even if you never win and you have the information, you're on the ground doing some level of work and you can share that information. In fact, there should be a level of some form of solidarity move where these MPs, they visit each other, they lend hand, they get that information that you let the people know, right? Specifically what they're doing. Give a time speak on it, neighbor, because that is also important. Right? And you, as much as possible as you can, and key point to it, you can do this when you're handing out aid, meaning just before you hand out, because there's a gathering, I'm sure there's microphones, I'm sure there's other things they can use, and you give information that will let people know, because the fact that they are not in the know, they're going to run with what seems favorable, what seems familiar, and what may be deemed as showing some level of empathy. Because really, no, neighbor, when the opposition comes and say, well, the prime minister never land, or see the helicopter never bring food, them not knowing that, one, the prime minister has no place to land there, and two, that helicopter is not one that's supposed to bring that type of aid. It's a search and rescue. So they have to give that level of clarity as much as possible, because we learn through repetition in a neighbor. All right, and the more you repeat it in and people get to understand, you also inspire hope. You motivate people to be a little bit more patient, to be a little more disciplined. And now word of mouth on the ground I go spread faster than any social media can happen, because they don't have access to social media like that right now. And it is them who you need to get to, even more importantly than the rest of the country.
You're quite correct. For example, the government announced that the NHT will be given a moratorium. Here is it.
National Housing Trust has activated a comprehensive package of support measures to help its contributors and mortgagors recover from the devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. First, I wish to remind the public that all NHT mortgagors are insured under the Trust's House Owners Comprehensive Policy, which covers damage from hurricane.
So then, Harry, if you have an NHT house that was damaged, that house is insured.
Right. It's specifically, we can use an example, the estuary NHT housing scheme. Right. I think that's in St. James. Right. They were flooded out totally. So those persons actually can get it. And I don't think as well, neighbor, that the PM has to be the one to be driving this home. It is a reason why we have these institutions. If you know, as the NHT, that the PM has declared this, it's signed off, it's an agreement, it's a goal, then you utilize that ministry, you utilize that institution, you get some of their representatives down there, neighbor, to let the people know. Because it doesn't have to always come from the prime minister. Once he comes, whether it be a press conference or a press briefing, or in parliament, once he makes that announcement, what you do is you use the institutions. They're paid, neighbor, and that is part of their...
Fantastic. Lost Harry there for a minute. As we await Harry's return, there's another call. Hello? Hold on, Harry.
When you left,
there's another caller in the box. I can't read that. Hello?
And I can't see the wall.
Hello. Good night.
I'll still remember the day.
Boy, I tell you.
Where your eyes still smile from your cheeks. And darling, I will be loving you till we're 70.
Hurricane, storm, floods, fire, and other perils. The NHC has already mobilized its branches island-wide to help mortgagors prepare and process their insurance claims quickly and efficiently. Second, recognizing that many families will need time to prioritize home repairs, the NHD will grant an automatic 6 months moratorium on mortgage payments for mortgages in the worst affected parishes.
There you go again, Harry.
Yes.
Another announcement that I don't think is getting a lot of attention. You don't have to pay your mortgage for 6 months. That's
and
affected area, not you.
And that's the thing with it, neighbor. Because now we have to look at the institutions that can give us good synergies, right? So, for example, TAJ, Tax Office of Jamaica. A lot of these persons would have lost important documents as well, and they're also going to need some of these documents to go through with this NHT thing. So we need to get those persons, find in terms of the logistics how they can get it done, right? Whether that may be you pitch a tent, right? One of those massive tents, and you set up in a way where those who may lose an ID or whatever it may be, you put them in different queues, neighbor, and you work that out.
But what happened to the ministries and the agencies of government? Harry, they are failing at this.
I'd want to relate at the leadership of these institutions, neighbor, right from the highest level with them down to even the I'd say the branch managers, because it also helps them with getting their work done easier. Here's why. When these branches and so on are open back up, the level of chaos that's going to happen, persons are going to flock it, and they won't be able to handle that job, right?
Yeah.
Workers
but
will be.
Somebody sent it to me that government is giving 6 months. I mean, people should know this. This should not be an announcement in Parliament. People should know this.
Definitely. In fact, neighbor, they should be flocking to it just like how they're flocking to the aid. Right? Because remember, a lot of persons we're getting some reviews that is not, they're grateful for the food, but they want them house.
Yes, and they should be assured that, hold on, your house is insured, or you don't have to pay any mortgage for 6 months. You know what that means to a mortgager, Harry?
Definitely, neighbor, right? Because in fact, that takes a level of ease off them. They won't be comfortable, but it's one less problem to have, neighbor. Because I can imagine you're down there, you're worrying about your food, your survival, then you're going to worry about where you're going to live, right? And if you can just hear that, hey, your house is insured, so you don't have to worry about that money part, and then you're getting some time off as well. That's a whole lot of burden off of your neighbor.
The magnitude of the storm, the Prime Minister spoke to that too.
It tore through our breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth. It disrupted our tourism corridor, stretching from Westmoreland through to St. James and into Trelawney and St. Anne. And it inflicted heavy damage on housing, community infrastructure, commercial operations, and public utilities across multiple parishes. Thousands of households now face the loss of homes, crops, equipment, and small enterprises. This is not only a humanitarian crisis, it is a shock to livelihoods, incomes, and local economies. Madam Speaker, detailed assessments are still underway, but I wish to share very preliminary, high-level estimates only to illustrate the scale of the devastation. Based on benchmarks from comparable regional disasters, physical damage to housing, commercial buildings, roads, electricity, water, and telecommunications infrastructure is estimated between 6 to 7 billion US dollars.
No, Harry, how much money is that in Jamaica? 7 billion US. How much is that?
I think when we look at it, it's over 1.2 trillion in a neighbor.
You did the maths?
It was in and around that ballpark the last time I checked it. I think I checked it, the 8 billion.
1.3 trillion Jamaican dollars.
Yes, no. I can even do the maths while we're here as well.
Go ahead. Talk to me.
To be approximately 1.3, but let me give the the listeners the exact figure. So 1,283,624 million.
Go again, Harry. Harry,
You got that, neighbor?
I am asking you if $1 trillion is $1 trillion is 1,000 million billion.
That's correct, neighbor.
Hold on. 1 billion United States dollars is how much Jamaican?
So the
1
let me
billion
tell you.
US is how much Jamaica?
160 billion 453 million.
153 billion.
So 160 billion 453 million.
Hold on. 1 billion US is how much Jamaica?
160 billion 453 million.
Right? 160 billion
453 million. That's it, neighbor.
So you have to time that now by 6.
6 to 8.
And when you time 160 billion by 8, how much you get?
When we do that, neighbor, we get 1,283 billion 624 million.
Lord God, you lose me. Hold on. Harry, in the little time we have, there is no question, Harry, that the economy has taken a major hit.
Yes, neighbor.
Harry, do you think we how are we going to manage, Harry? Help me.
Well, for one, neighbor, we have to start in terms of having the unity, all right? And we have to bond together to understand what is the goal in mind, because this won't be an easy feat, even for the next decade, neighbor. And I mean,
hold on there, Harry. Tell me again. Hold on. My God. Hold on there, Harry. Oh. Let me hear it again.
Water and telecommunications infrastructure is estimated between 6 to 7 billion US dollars, equivalent to roughly 28 to 32% of last fiscal year GDP. It is, members, a major hit to our economy. And I want the country to appreciate that we have never had a disaster of this magnitude with this economic footprint in terms of the impact. Not Gilbert, not Ivan, all of those are relatively small to our GDP. To lose 30% of your GDP is significant. So, still preliminary. I believe it is conservative.
All right. Harry?
Yes, neighbor.
Come with me again. We're talking about 7 billion US.
Well,
No.
6 to 8, yeah.
Yes. 1 billion United States dollar is how much Jamaican?
160 billion Jamaican.
160 billion.
Right, neighbor.
How much money we get from the cat bond?
24 billion.
But Harry, we don't have no money. We But I tell you something, Harry. We need a
And you know, neighbor, the fact that we throw out the figure now, I hope people can understand that
Yes.
the cat bond not even if we take the cat bond money and give everybody something to build back house, we still not develop infrastructure.
Let's
Because
do it again. Let's go over it again. I want to do it again. It's gonna send me to my bed. It's gonna send me to
Infrastructure is estimated between to 7 billion US dollars, equivalent to roughly 28 to 32% of last fiscal year's.
So if it was only 1 billion US dollars, Harry, it would be 160 odd billion Jamaican dollars.
that's correct, neighbor.
But Harry, if you start lay $5,000 bill from Kingston to Montego Bay and back, how much time? You'd have covered the whole road with $5,000 bill with $160 billion.
Then neighbor, you do probably do 2 laps around the country.
with only 1 billion US.
Right.
You could basically cover Jamaica with $5,000 bill.
With ease.
If you got 160 billion, Harry, it doesn't matter how you spend it. You couldn't spend it off.
And neighbor, if anybody gets that, right, I'm broke. After, boy, something about you.
Jesus Christ, boy, I tell you something. You know, Harry. Our people need information, you know. Yeah,
they definitely do, and I hope now people can put it into perspective to realize this little money where them argue about and how it is spent is nothing compared to what we're facing.
You are talking about how much is the cat bond?
24 billion.
And you're talking about 8 billion United States dollar. That is not even 100% of it, is that?
I would have to do another calculation, neighbor, but it not even scratch the surface. So really and truly, the fighting over nothing, neighbor. Because it's like we're laying the foundation to build a road, and we just put down one truck a mile and them thief it. We not even start the work. So why we are crying?
Harry, do you know what the total budget for Jamaica is?
I never look at the total budget in its entirety. But let me see if I can find it as well.
We can pick that up tomorrow.
Yes, man.
All right. Check that out for me. I'm out of time.
Oh, I beat it to it, neighbor. It's actually the same amount that we're going to need. It's $1.26 trillion.
My God. Wow. The entire budget for the entire year for the whole country.
In fact, I'll be more specific. For this fiscal year budget. So
if the government gets all the money that it will spend for the entire country, that is not going to be sufficient to take care of the disaster.
That is correct, neighbor. And even then, you probably could sell Jamaica and we still owe.
So anyone who is looking for a quick fix to this, Harry, is in a pipe dream. Not where.
Neighbor, it as I said, and I'm being very generous when I said 10 years, right? Because I'm backing the people to come on board. But it's going to take a little longer than that as well. And if they thought when they tighten our belt under COVID, they need to tighten it a little bit more. They need to understand what's coming.
You sound like a man with some knowledge of finance and economics, Harry. You think that definitely the projections of government will be thrown off. You know what? let's have a discussion on this tomorrow. I promise. Let's
Sure.
okay.
Yes, neighbor.
I want to take you into the figures and let's see if we can explore some probability, possibilities, and how this may affect tax collections and probably even programs of government and even the curse word tax, because government revenue definitely are going to be down. Have a great night. You hear, Harry, and catch you tomorrow.
Same to your neighbor and same to everybody. And
Talk to Caroline and let's see if we can do this maybe about 8 o'clock, 7:45 to 8 tomorrow.
sure, neighbor. And I want to tell everybody before I go and run the numbers yourself as well. Don't take my word and neighbor's word for it. I want you to see it for yourself.
Well, I did not run the numbers, and I must tell you the truth. When I hear you talk tonight, I need a drink.
Don't get anything too strong now, neighbor.
I will have to, sir. Have a great night. You hear?
Good night to you, neighbor, and everybody else.
Lucky Dubé taking us out with back to my Harry.
Yes, neighbor, I'm here.
Let's say we have $160 billion, and we want to give it to Jamaicans. We want to divide up just that amount. How much would each of us get? By 3 million. 160 billion by 3 million. How much would each person get?
I'm going to tell the neighbor.
Harry's going to tell me. Trying to break it down for you to understand. Bruce Golden, we need you in us, sir. Please, Mr. Golden, can you help me? Mr. Bruce Golden?
We're looking at roughly $53,333, neighbor.
And now times that by 8.
We're looking at 426,666.
So if you give each Jamaican $400,000, each Jamaican would have to contribute $400,000. Every single Jamaican, every boy, every girl here, $400,000 each of us would need to pay to build back what we lost. Mighty God. Are you sure? You sure you're doing good?
Definitely, neighbor. 160 billion divided by the 3 million. And then times that by 8.
And it's 8. And it's 8?
That is it, neighbor.
And how much each of us need to find?
426,666.
You hear that? Every Jamaican needs to find $250. Every one of them. What a bill. So crayfish, you have a head, but you're not afraid. That's what faces the Prime Minister. What a weight on his shoulder. You can't help him, Harry. You can't help the Prime Minister. Harry?
I think in the famous words, neighbor, of a former Prime Minister, I'd have to say we found money.
You found the money.
I guess the Minister of Health would have to find some money. The Minister of Finance
have to find some money, and everybody have to find some money. And you know, Harry, we can't even print it, eh?
My. Then we would be like Zimbabwe, neighbor.
We can't print the money. I want you to tell us tomorrow why we can't just print this money. Why can't we just go down to the Bank of Jamaica and just print this money, Harry, and just spend it and fix up the place? Why we can't just print it?
Well, there's something called inflation in a neighbor. You say when there's too much money and
hyperinflation.
And I want people. I'll challenge our listeners tonight to go and look up the price of bread in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
In fact, let me give the picture. The money you're going to spend would that just be the fact that you're going to use it to do something else, even to buy toilet paper.
My God.
Sorry for my thing, neighbor, but you better use the money wipe your bottom. Because you can't afford the toilet paper.
Has no value, eh?
None whatsoever.
You know, Harry, I tell you the truth. Boy, Caroline, talk to my listeners for me, because I have 9 minutes overtime. But you know, Harry, we printed money at one time in Jamaica, you know that?
That's new to me, neighbor.
Yes, man. How old are you?
I'm 30, neighbor.
You're 30. So you never know that we had to mop up the liquidity at one time.
No, neighbor.
Yes, man. Check on it for me for tomorrow. Yes, we printed money. I tell you the truth. Hurricane. Yes, Harry. We were printing money at one. Anyway, that's a subject. Join us tomorrow, guys, and we tell you about that. We tell you about when Jamaica printed money and why we can't just go print money to fix our problem. All right? We can't just print it. Thank you so much. You're here, Harry. So thank you so much.
Welcome, neighbor. You take care.
And I want you to tell them about Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe experience here, Harry.
Yes, man, for sure.
The Zimbabwean dollar, where you had to carry one barrel of money to buy one load of bread. It was useless.
Yeah, and I hope, like I don't think they understand that we in terms of most recent occurrence, we don't want to become the Greece of the West, neighbor.
Oh my God, ignorance. What a show tonight. What a show. What a show filled with information for you and you and you and you. In the cold Florida and in Canada, cold like hell. Well, hell is hot. Harry, what a valuable contributor is he to the program. What a find. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Harry. By the way, Harry,
Yeah.
I know that your bill at the end of the month is going to be quite large, but I beg you for a discount. You hear, sir, please? Give you a little discount, Harry, because the program broke. Hello, Ashery. How you doing?
Don't worry, neighbor. I'll give the concessionaires.
Thank you. What a great contributor he is to the program. Fantastic young man. Thank you, sir. My friend out of Canada, Your Highness, you too. Thank you. I'll hope I can see you tomorrow. And we have an appointment with Harry tomorrow at 15 minutes to 8 o'clock to go over these numbers again for you and to tell you why the government will have difficulty finding this money and printing it.
Rain a fall, but dirty tough. Nowadays the time so hard. When you ask somebody how them do, them afraid you take it, tell them back, so them not answer you. Not care how much we da work for hard times, still in our shot. We da fight hard time a beat we. They might raise we wages, but £1 gone and pound we pay and we not feel no merriment. For £10 gone and pound we food and £10 pound we rent. Saltfish gone up, mackerel gone up, beef and pork gone up same way. And when rice and butter ready, them just go for holiday. Cloth, boot, pin and needle gone up. Ice bread taxes, water rate, kerosene oil, gasoline gone up. And the pound devaluate. The price of bread gone up so high that we have to agree to cut we hype and bread and all turn dumpling refugee. And all them Marcus Maddy, when I go on like fatty sin, all them they would have fast with me. I left them to dumpling. Sun a shine and pot a boil, but things are bright. Bickle not enough. River flood, rain a fall, but water scarce.
Even though we might say the idea of foolishness, but we
Leave
have to
that
have
alone. Leave it alone. It is controversial. Leave it alone.
Dana, I'm gonna leave it alone, Dana. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna follow my friend.
Everything can talk over here, me back broad, me then cuss me. Talk over.
Yeah.
No, it's not about back broad, but sometimes some things you have to just make it stay in a way there.
Yeah, make it. No man, I would say true, you know, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Sometimes you must leave some. I'm gonna make the puppy asleep tonight.
Every municipality I do them own thing. So
I do them exactly. I'm gonna make the dog asleep tonight, Dana. However, back to what I'm saying earlier, is that water is in your pipe, turn on the pipe, fill all that you can, so that when the water got, because remember that JPS, remember that water commission is being pumped by generator and not by JPS power. So I'm asking you guys to fill all that you can and try to get the your house in order. But so far, Mobi, we are resilient. We shall, we go build back stronger than we were before. We will move forward. I don't know, the Sanctus International Airport was restored with light. So they have light now, and they should be fully functional. No, not yet, but you know how tourists is. Some of them soon start traveling because they want to see how, they want to have an hands-on of how Jamaica is. So we know we soon start get tourists.
Okay.
Well, don't allow them over Sandals mash up, legend.
Yeah, man, but Sandals even put out, say, them are open back, I think, about a week for now, to, all of them property,
I think they said December. I think of December me here, if me not lie.
Girl, say today 11? Today 11. Time of fly. Dana, you see, Dana, to me go home every night to darkness. Me used to darkness right now. Like it become a norm to me. Me a mosquito, me have to pick a struggle. Either me have the mosquito as one landlord or me have him as a tenant. I me take him as a landlord. Every night me go, my mosquito they bite me. So me have to just say, alright, yeah, landlord, can you not put me out tonight,
Oh. Anyway, guys, here what happened up this morning from before me, right? I want to get a shower now and come back up. By the time I done shower and do me I do, and put on my pajamas so they keep them in night over, we ready. So I don't want to say me I run and I'm really tired. I have to get up.
I'm really tired too,
Yeah, I have to go to the for rapper morning. So what I'm going to do now, I end the live. Thank you guys so much. We'll get a shower and come back. By the time we come out, I want to. We're ready to
turn. Alright, Auntie Dada, good night.
Yeah.
Auntie, look more. Let's shake her later. Tell her later.
See you tomorrow night. Don't go nowhere.
Who, me?
Alright.
Yeah, look up. Teresa, thanks.
Alright, Auntie.
Again, alright?
Alright, Auntie. I mean, by now, you see, if you know, because I'm tired of going people here, so just make sure me come after me tomorrow, later.
I have your number.
Alright, later.
You can message me Akeem after.
Yeah, man. Alright, later.
Let's up on yourself. Thank you, TikTok. Big up on yourself.
Auntie Donna.
Yes, sir.
I always thank you for having me, and I pray that God
welcome. Thank you, and come again.
And guide you and protect you, and no weapon that farm against you will prosper. Not even one at all.
Jesus, all right.
And the angel of God will continue to be around you and bless your platform, send good people to always be with you. And I pray that the spirit of the living God will continue to just open doors and windows for you. And every time the enemy come up, God will cancel them through the blood of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Peace and love. Shalom.
Shalom. Peace out. Yeah. Bye, TikTok tomorrow. YouTube, I not forgot to sleep. If you never
Boy, I hear you talking. I hear you talking about status and not standards. I hear mental and emotion in a way I said to me. All I hear is your family's in politics. You talk about career. I'm like, if that could.
Perfect.
Serious? You want to be with someone that's literally on the same level as you. That's literally what a whole relationship is about.
Hold on.
If that's all you have to offer, then God help you, unfortunately.
If I can do it
If
by
you're stuck with,
myself, why do I need someone else to match that if they're not at the same standard as me?
if that is what you are going for, all I can say is, you know, I look for in people values and
See,
yeah,
that's
man, no problem.
oh my
No,
God.
I'll put in something in the bag aside.
We can talk about this
So
all day.
as I was saying to you, right, it is, boy, you're billionaires, millionaires,
We can talk about
all
this
them, right,
offline.
Natasha?
We could talk about this offline. It's okay.
Yeah, man, we're not, boy, that's rough, though. That's a very rough perspective to have. Status. Sorry, that anybody talk about the materialistic versus the mental and emotional, and then the external wealth to it. I understand so external wealth is a part of it. You should not want to suffer and should not want better for yourself. I'm not saying that you should want better.
Oh yeah,
I'm just
Batty
saying
man,
that
so I chat.
we're part of the internal self. I know people who top
Listen,
performers,
I'm fine.
top.
I work on my internal self. I live
Colorism in the
external.
Caribbean. Failure started as
I know a
awareness,
lady who's a top
which is more
performer in her
I
prevalent
travel
in
the
Jamaica.
world.
Racism or
Like I
colorism
go anywhere in the world, anywhere I want.
was illicit by past choice for prime ministers because of money was
that doesn't
cinemas
mean
in
anything at
Jamaica.
all.
I could literally get up
Ah,
and go to Spain tomorrow.
But if you're telling me that you have, if I wanted you, are you telling me? Are you telling me right now? You are not even marketing yourself to me. You're practically telling me the reason why I shouldn't want you, because you're telling me you're not somebody who can calculate the mental and emotional. I'm not joking. I'm saying that you are not
No,
marketing.
that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that don't mean
Basically
nothing.
saying I'm great by myself. That's what I'm basically saying.
That is what great is to you. Then build up yourself. That's not great to me. Sorry, but that sounds empty. I'm like, the fact that I can mental and emotionally be aware of what's going on and connect. And I met a lady. Well, my mom very good friend this lady. She's a high performer in her company, one of the top performers, and she, after she have all her success in everything in life, like how you'd have a success in life, I found it funny how she did a lot of work on herself with the therapy and certain kind of internal work with her child and her family and everything, and her life completely changed. No, I'm not disputing being physically, like materially successful. I'm just saying if you're not from internal side, everything that we're not going to make better choices because you did go work by yourself. That's not how that works. And because you're good by yourself, it means you've never worked on yourself in the ways that you can connect with and get what you want. I want to know that I can mental and emotion. One of the things I grew up on people were up to, if you want to call that. And they made a parts and they have connections. And I see what happens when people don't work on the mental and emotional stuff and are very successful. And them also can be good by themselves. That's meaningless. If I was supposed to hear what you're telling me and go with that, it's like you tell them if you just live and be a drone and go with the flow, like that's not enough for me. I'm sorry, traveling the world, having this that don't mean much for me. Mental and emotionally can connect with myself and those around me, uplift, be aware, learn, grow, versus status and career. I'm sorry, Natasha, but
You can literally find both in what I'm saying, what me and you are saying. You can
all right. So what you said now? I'm listening to you.
Because I just know for I don't know.
Listen to me. Therapy is not just for when something is wrong. It's also